Hey all, happy Wednesday! Thanks for joining me for a craft night with friends. My name is Alyssa from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for beginners. And I'm here every weeknight, Monday through Friday at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And it's a time that we can relax and craft together. All right, so we are working on our panda embroidery. This is our embroidery of the month. Tonight we will be focusing on the French knots on the little top of the cap. So we'll be going through the 3 things you might be doing wrong with French knots, and then we will fill in all of these little fellers. So, all right, let's get stitching. Okay, everyone. Nice to see y'all popping in again. So here is where we left off. Actually, before we do the French knots, I'm gonna finish up his little mouth there. But, and then we can let some people come in yet. And then we will go over how to do a French knot and then the 3 things you might be doing wrong with a French knot. And then like how to correct those things. So, and if you're having a tough time with French knots, it's probably because of one of these 3 reasons, or more than one combo of these reasons. All right, so let's start by getting our 3 strands of floss. I do want to finish that mouth up quickly here first. And then we'll get going. It was another day of snowing here, you guys. We're just having it every day here. But it was actually pretty nice out. I was outside for a little bit, and it was winter wonderlandy out, but like without the like mega negative below 0 like weather. It was just kind of still and calm and nice. If it was late into winter and it almost spring, we'd have called it like a beautiful start to spring. Even though it snowed and it's just getting colder, but it was just kind of beautiful out. All right, so I'm gonna weave in the ends to the back of this nose here, and then we will get going on that mouth. Oh, Jennifer says, yay, French knot day, he's gonna look so cute. Yes, so I'm just squeezing in this mouth real quick, and then I'll do a little French knot demo, and then we'll hop up to the top of his head there and do the rest of them. But I might like actually use these dots for the demo down here. We'll see how it goes. I think let's start here. Just because I'm gonna be cutting it away when I'm done. Because it's easier to just I'll have like a bunch of weird looking French knots, and it's easier for me to just trim it away. All right, let's get maybe 5 stitches here. Oh, Paula says, oh no, I missed stitching the eyes. I better watch the replay later. So we did, actually we did do both eyes yesterday, didn't we? Yeah, so yesterday we did the eyes, the eye patches, and the nose. And then we finished up the face too, like all the little white stitches on his face. Oh, look at adding this pink. So cute. Cuter and cuter the more colors we add, I think. Okay, I think I'm gonna get this in 2 stitches. Then I'm gonna just weave in this end, and then we'll jump into the French knots. All right, cute. Face is finally completely done. I couldn't just let that mouth just sit undone there. Try that again. There we go. And 3. Okay, so I'm just gonna tie a little knot here, and we'll do our little French knot demo, and then I will go do all of the French knots for the hat. Okay, so, and everyone, I don't know, I feel like people do French knots a little bit different from each other, so this is how I like doing them. I'm just gonna stick this in the front here. I'm gonna trim all this out, but I'm gonna do like how to do a French knot, and then the 3 things you might be doing wrong with your French knot. I'm gonna use these dots down here, and then I'm gonna cut them out when I'm done. But all right, how I do a French knot is I come up, and I come up on one side of the dot. I actually don't come up in the middle. I hold it in my left hand, point the needle towards your hand, and wrap it around twice. I hold those loops with my finger onto the needle, and then once I do that, I can let go with my left hand. So I kind of shush the fabric out of the thread out of the way, and then I point the needle back towards my fabric. I go on the other side of that dot, about halfway, still holding onto the needle, but I can let go of the loops. I'm going to pull those loops tight to the needle and the fabric. And then I always like sticking a finger on top of the loops, and then I slowly can pull the thread through. And there is my little French knot. And just to do one again, I'm just going to do one right next to it here. I'll just do it like my normal time. And there we go. That's how I like doing the French knot. So there are 3 things, at least that's what I think. I've seen 3 things that I've done before, and I've seen other people do before, reasons that you might have some trouble with your French knots. And here's what they are. And you could be doing everything else correct, but if you get one or all of these things wrong, it's going to be a little wonky. So I'm going to come up on this dot down here. And the first thing you might be doing wrong is right here. So the first thing you might be doing wrong is pointing your needle towards the fabric instead of away from the fabric or towards your hand. If you point it towards the fabric, you might do everything else right. I'm wrapping around twice, getting in the hole there, even like holding my stitch as I stitch through. But if you are pointing your needle towards the fabric, you are not going to end up with a knot. You are going to end up with a tiny little itty bitty stitch. So it's just a straight stitch. So if you're doing a French knot and you just see these itty bitty straight stitches like a whole lot like this, but smaller, it's because you're pointing your needle towards the fabric instead of away from the fabric. So to do it right again, I'm just going to go right next to it. Instead of pointing your needle towards the fabric, point it away. A way to think about that is point it to your other hand. And then you're kind of making this circle here. So pointing to the other hand. Then you can wrap around, hold those stitches, and finish it up by pulling through. And there you see. So that's the difference between a tiny little stitch and your French knot. So don't point your needle towards the fabric, point it away. So that's the first thing you might be doing wrong. The second thing, let's see if I can recreate this. So the second thing you might be doing wrong is coming up right in the middle of your dot. So that makes total sense though, right? Like it makes sense that you want to come up right in the middle of the dot. Ooh, I didn't even get right in the middle. Let's get right in the middle there. I'm right in the middle of the dot, and then you do everything else correctly. All right, and you go back in the middle of the dot, and you come back through. So it looks good, but what can happen if you go right through the center of your dot is you can pull your knot all the way through. And that super sucks because now you have this knot on the back in a weird spot that is just going to be impossible to get out. So that's from going in the exact same hole as you came in, and you went out in the exact same hole. So Instead of doing that, what I like doing is starting on one side of the dot and then crossing over and ending up on the other side. So you can really start anywhere, but just you're crossing over that, the picture of that dot versus coming right up in the middle. So if I do that, if I come on one side, you can see I'm on the right side of the dot. I'm going to do my French knot. So now here, right, pointing the needle towards towards my hand, I'm wrapping around twice. I'm going to hold those loops in place, and now this is where I point back towards the fabric. And now here, instead of going in that same hole, I'm crossing over that dot and going in on the other side of that dot. So there's that whole dot's width of fabric in between where I came out and am going back in. So that little bit of fabric there is going to keep our knot from going, like being pulled to the back. There's that barrier of the fabric there. And if you do pull it to the back, you're going to end up with a big hole. So that's a bigger problem, but you shouldn't physically be able to do that very easily. But there we go. So that's the second thing you might be doing wrong, is going back in the exact same hole. You want to cross over that dot so you don't pull your knot through. And then the last thing you might be doing is just letting the loops get away from you. And that could happen a couple different ways. So right now, pointing the needle away, looping around. So right here, if you don't hold the loops in place and you just kind of go to the other side, and I didn't pull them tight, all I'm doing is kind of pulling through, you're going to end up with just a loopy mess. And even if you do a few of those things, you might still end up with like kind of a loose loopy dot. So this one, I'm gonna hold them tight here, get down to here, and then maybe here I'm a little less loose or less tight, and then like maybe I'm not gonna hold those loops in place while I pull through. There, I still kind of have a knot that has some little loopy bits hanging up on top. So to avoid that, and I especially don't want those if I'm doing like a big grouping where a lot of them look the same. We just have, it's just like a little sloppy, a little messy. So what I like doing is at a couple different stages. So right here, I like holding those loops with my finger, pointing it, then I'm pointing my needle back towards the fabric. And at this point, when I'm halfway through, I can let go, but I want to tighten those loops. So I'm pulling on the thread. I want to tighten those loops so they're against the fabric and against the needle. And then I also, just as a last little bit, and a lot of people don't do this, but I find that it helps. I like holding the loops with my thumb or a finger in place, and then I slowly pull the loops through. This just helps it from getting away from me. I can feel when it's pulled all the way through. And then you get like a nice little itty bitty French knot there. And I think it just turns out swell. So those are the three things that you might be doing wrong. And we'll just do one more here just to go over all those again. So the first thing you might be doing wrong is pointing your needle towards the fabric. Instead, you want to point it away or towards your hand. Holding those loops in place, and you want to cross over your dot. You don't want to go right in the center, so you don't want to go back in the exact same hole is really the key. So if you go in the same hole, you risk pulling the knot to the back. And then the third thing is, let's just tighten up those loose bits. I'm going to hold that in place while I hold those loops in place while I pull the thread through. Just so those, my loops don't get out of line like how they did on these couple. So, all right, so those are the three things you may be doing wrong with the French knot. So give it a go and let me know if that helped at all, and if it's going easier for you now. after trying, just like seeing how you do your French knot and giving that a try. I'm gonna go up here and stitch all these guys, but first let's cut out, I suppose they can stay there for now. We'll just leave those there for now, but I'm gonna start a fresh thing of thread here because we don't have much left. French knots take up tons of floss, like a surprising amount of floss, I think. So I'm not even sure this big piece of floss is gonna make it this whole thing. We'll probably have to get more. All right, so strategy for going through all these like really close to each other French knots. I'm just gonna kind of start on one side, kind of work my way over to the other. The risk here is that as I'm making them, like my thread catches on other ones, which is annoying. So it's just, I'm gonna have to look out for that. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but I'm just gonna go slow and see how it goes. I'm gonna weave into the backs of these stitches here. Uh-oh, I caught a little black here. Get out of there if we can. There we go. And I don't know, I don't do French knots super close together like this very often, so I'm sure there are some good tips out there from people that do. So if anyone does do French knots a lot and has any tips, let me know. All right, so let's go. We're doing all of the little French knots. Again, I'm going to start on one side and cross over those dots. I know some people just pull it through here and they leave this tension, but I don't know. Still like having my thumb on there to feel what's going on. Ooh, these are going to be so close to each other. I think it's going to be cute. It's also nice when you're doing French knots, if you're not using like an embroidery stand. Like I always set it on, at this part, I set it on the table, or you can set it on your lap. But, you know, I need both my hands up here, so I can't hold the hoop at the same time, so I just set it down. All right, and I don't know, let's just keep choosing dots. So it doesn't really matter where we go. Gosh, this might even take the whole time. French knots use up a lot of fabric, take some time. We'll get it done. Oh, Amy says the closest I ever done them was the jellyfish. Yeah, they're pretty close on there too. Yeah, there's a lot of French knots on the jellyfish. Jenna did the singles in the flower centers. In the flower centers. I don't remember. Oh yeah, so you can wrap the floss around your needle like however many times you want, really. I don't know, can you do just one? I don't know, I always go two. If you want a little bigger knot, you can go like 3, but then it starts feeling loopy to me. Like excessively loopy if you do too many. And then at that point, you're almost in Boolean knot territory. If I want a bigger knot, usually I'll just use more strands of floss. Like if I wanted these really big and floofy, I think, yeah, like with the turtle here, you know, we did these French knots with like 2 strands of thread, I think, and then these were with all 6, so you can see like how much heftier those French knots are. So if I want like real fat French knots, I'll just use 6 strands of floss. I'm getting a little twisty here, so I'm just gonna let my thread dangle and untwist for a sec. There we go. Oh man, I can tell it's been warmer out today because our heater's on and it feels like extra warm. Oh, you said you did single strand flower centers, maybe the sunflower? I forget, it was a while ago. Amy's asking about Jenna's. I'm just trying to think too. We did the lilac that had a lot of flower centers. I think it was chain stitches for the centers of the sunflower. Unless I'm thinking of something else. Not sure. So we're cruising now. I'm probably gonna need 2 whole more segments of thread because I'm feeling like I'm almost out of thread already. And we got like just these few little French knots. And French knots get annoying with a small amount of thread. It's hard to make that first like loop where you point when you point the needle towards your thread, like this part. Once this thread gets too small, ooh, I'm all twisty again. It gets really kind of difficult. So you notice I had to untwist twice. Some stitches, especially ones that if you're going to do them over and over again, like how I'm doing it now, you're always you're doing the same motions, so you're always you're always twisting the thread in the same direction, like over and over again, just from the like doing the same motions, and that twists up your thread. So if you get going on a certain stitch and it just keeps twisting up, it might not be you, it might just be that stitch you're doing a lot of the same motions over and over, and that's twisting up. So just like if it's feeling like it's getting out of hand, then just let it dangle and release a little bit. Oh, I remember that. So Jenna says I did a small chamomile piece that I filled in the centers with French knots. That's right. That's right. And she says that she thought it was like 1 or 2 strands. I remember that now. Yeah. That was a crazy amount of French knots. Jenna says I love the texture of French knots next to each other. Yeah, that was a really beautiful piece. So for this one, I didn't cram them quite next to each other because we'd be doing these French knots for days. So it's floating a little bit in between each French knot. But that is such a cool look, having all those French knots right next to each other. So fun. I feel like I need to let this dangle again for a sec. Yeah, and we're getting kind of low on floss here, like for real. So we'll see how many more we do, and then we gotta pull a whole new thing of pink. But we're getting going. All right. Yeah, here I can definitely tell that my thread's getting a little short. Zoop. I think I can get a few more out of here. And everyone, stay tuned to your emails. We have a really fun thing that we're trying to, that we're getting together for the holidays, so like Christmas holidays. And we will be talking about it soon on our newsletter, and we'll be having a little pre-order special and a pre-order sale for this thing. And just as a clue, it's starting to smell awfully nice around here. So you can probably do a little guess of what we're talking about, but that's all I'm giving, and we'll have more info coming up. So definitely pay attention to your emails, and I'm sure we'll talk about it on social and stuff too coming up. All right, I'm gonna try and get one more, and then I'm gonna weave in the end. So it just so happened that I ended up back down by the back stitch, which is great because back stitches are nice to weave into. But like, see how annoying it is now to do this like little loop? It's annoying enough that I'm just gonna get a fresh piece of thread and start fresh. Start again. There we go. That's about, what, a third? Probably more like a quarter, huh? One. Oh, a couple more reminders. Our live special is going on, of course, and that's where if you order $20 or more in the shop, penguinandfish.com, I will throw in a nice free mystery gift for you. And another reminder, I'm going to be out all next week. So Monday through Friday next week. For Thanksgiving, we'll be visiting the fam. We're also my brother and his girlfriend's ride from the airport. So we got a job to do. But I'll get to see the baby again, who's gonna be like 3 times the size since I saw him like, I don't know, 2 months ago, a month ago, whatever. When was that? That was probably just like a month ago. My new nephew. Which moved me to aunthood for the first time. So that was very exciting. So we'll get to see him again. That's who we visited. Yeah, it might have just been like a month ago. It had to be more than that. But anyway, he looks gigantic compared to when we saw him. Month and a half, maybe. All right. All set up again. Nice long thing of floss. Let's weave in here. One. I just hope that it's nice out. I mean, actually, I know it's not going to be nice out for the first day, at least. I haven't looked past that, but it's going to be cold for driving day, but hopefully it's fine. Oh, Amy says, doesn't it seem like forever ago that you were making that crocheted L? That's right. We gave Lincoln, is the little baby, gave him a little crocheted teddy bear, and we crocheted live a little letter L that we stitched on, and that little heart. We did the little heart made out of two single chain stitches kind of next to each other. That was pretty cute. I wish I would have thought of that like years earlier, because it would have been fun to put those on all the bears. I used to sell those back in the early days of Etsy. Back when Etsy like first came out, I had those bears on, and people could get whatever letter they wanted, and I would crochet it on. I have a few left, so I had to snake one. Oh yeah, we had to switch the letter out and change it to an L. Thought I had a bunch of blank ones, but I must have lettered them all up. All right, I think we're a third of the way done now. This is so colorful with this pink. I would wear this hat. Orange hat, bright orange, like hunter orange hat. A little maybe brighter than hunter orange, or not brighter, but like lighter, yellower than hunter orange. But that with a big pink poof on top for sure. I'd 100% wear it. You can buy just those poofs. Like if you make hats, you can just buy the little poof to stitch on when you're done, which is kind of funny. Little like faux fur poofs. Alright, I'm just kind of like going up and down the line here is kind of how it's working itself out, it seems. Which is just fine. They're all looking pretty decent so far. Oh, I didn't jinx myself. Alright. I think I might go up again here and come back down. I feel like I'm cruising now, but I know there's like people out there that can do this probably 3 times as fast as me. Zillions of French knots. Can you undo a French knot? Not easily. It may be easier just to cut the thread and start fresh, honestly. You can, I mean, like, but it's, you know, gonna be as easy as it is picking out any other knot, which I wouldn't call easy. So that's why I always try and do every step every time, especially like the holding down the loops. That helps a lot from them not being messy. Sometimes my thread twists up on it, and then that's scary. Then I have to try and pick it out, but I try and do it before I pull everything too tightly. But sometimes it just ends up being a mess, and I try and bring it to the back and salvage it, see if I can tie it down. And even if I just have like a little piece of thread left, I'll try and secure that with the next piece of thread or floss and see how we do. But I wouldn't call them the easiest things to get out. All right, I'm getting twisty again too. So we'll just hold that up. Because that's something, if your thread gets all twisted, that you may mess up those French knots. By things like this part, if I get too twisted up in here or catch on something, then that's like the scary part, like where I have to just hope I can pull the thread all the way through and finish the French knot, or hope that I can pick it out a little bit. I try not to get it too twisty and really like pay attention when I'm pulling the thread through at that point. So for our live special, I'll definitely open it up to PDF patterns as well. So if you order $20 or more of just all like PDF patterns, I will send you a mystery PDF or several PDFs to the same email. Because we have most of these kits available as PDFs as well. Ooh, I'm definitely gonna need more thread. I'm getting low here already. What? Might have to get like more than one extra piece. Thought this one would carry us a little farther. Yeah, pink and orange. Anne says I love pink and orange together. I think it's super duper fun. It's one of those like combos that can be like super garish, but like in like a really kind of fun, poppy way. There's not a football team that's pink and orange, is there? I doubt it. But there should be. Those football teams always have garish colors together, I feel like. This would be a good combo. No orange is used a lot, but I don't think pink is used a lot, which is too bad. Oh, Jackie is asking what PDF stands for. Oh, what does it literally stand for? Oh man, I used to know all that stuff. Probably something technical sounding. I'm not sure. Ugh, the moment someone says it, I'm gonna know it. Oh yeah, Sally says portable document format. Portable document format. Is that really what it is? Oh, that's different than what I thought, but that makes sense. That's like literally what it is. I like it. Portable document format. Gosh, it's been a long time since I've had to kind of know those things. We're getting twisty. Let's let this be. There we go. We're also getting kind of short here, and I'm teed up pretty close to the end. See if we can get out of here. I think I might maybe be able to get this little 4 of them and this little bit here, but I don't know. That's 4 seems like a lot for this amount of thread. Try though. Oh, Sally says letting the thread get too short is also my problem with French knots. Yeah, I'm definitely in that too short section right now. But you know, you just want to use up the thread. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna call it. I'll call it after this stitch because it's just gonna get too hard. It'll be hard to weave into, and let's deal with that. All right, pretty far. Let's weave it in. Look at all these little stitches I'm gonna weave into. Perfect. Let's. Oh, I do have another piece here ready to go. Great. Thought I had to get another piece right away. I'm still not sure this is gonna get the whole way, but we'll see. Okay, next up, I'm just gonna get it and I'm gonna just weave it in. I think I'm just gonna weave it in the bottom here again and we'll start there. Okay. Great. Okay, let's do it. I think I'm back at the bottom here, so let's just start there. I would love to get all these done. Let's see, it's Thursday tomorrow. Thursday and Friday. Yeah, we're gonna be cutting it close, I think, getting this done by the end of the week. Yesterday I was all confident, oh, I will totally finish it by Friday, but now I'm just like, yeah, that scarf might take some time. We got all these lazy daisies down here. Actually, I don't know. Between Thursday and Friday, I think we'll still get it. But yeah, tonight I think we can get all these French knots done. That will be fabulous. Oh, I was going a little fast there. Like my brain stopped me from going too fast. It said, just check in again. You don't want to get those loops all caught on other French knots. So this is the part where I just always feel like I got to be careful. And I stopped thinking about it for a second and I'm like, nope, you got to think about it again. Did you get all shoveled out after the last snowfall? Yes. So I did not, but John did. he shoveled out a little bit, and then today, I think he had to shovel a little, but it got, I think, warm enough that it pretty much melted. The trick, though, this time of year, though, is to get it when it comes down, which is gonna be difficult, like when we're gone, but like to get it when it comes down, because it's at the point like where it could just freeze if we don't clear it, and then we'll have that ice for the whole freaking season. So we're trying to theoretically stay on top of it, but I don't know how that's gonna work when we're gone. So we'll see. But yeah, so far we got a clear path and driveway, all that stuff. Yeah, because I think by this weekend it's supposed to be like in the teens and stuff. So no more, 32s. So yeah, we'll want to make sure it's all gone by then. Today I just missed, we have a little teeny awning above like the front door and it had snow on it and it was melting, so I could see it like coming off the edge, and it almost got me a couple times. I was bringing some stuff in from outside and I had to keep looking up to make sure that I wasn't gonna get snickered by the snow falling from the awning. All right, I think we'll have enough floss to finish this. Maybe I'll just work back and forth to get back down now instead of up and down. This is such a fun texture. It just feels fun. Oh no, Jennifer says I have a cardboard box iced to my deck since all that rain last week. Oh no. Yeah, that's not fun. I could be there until next year. I think there's like it just came all this snow this week, so I think we have like cushions outside yet. Ugh. We didn't quite finish our winterizing, I guess. Oh, wait. They're probably covered in snow now, but we should bring those in yet. I'm gonna let this dangle again. Spin. Alright, just a few left here. I don't know what, 12 or so. I want to make something with this guy when I'm done. He's kind of cute. I suppose I'll be out of town though, so I don't know. This would actually just be cute as general like winter decor, just hanging in the hoop. Hang him up. Ooh, I feel like I'm running low on thread again, but I should be able to get the rest of these. Ooh, this one hopefully doesn't tangle. I've got to go slow. Okay. Thought I was gonna get one of those loopy knots. It was getting a little loopy, but I slowed it down and it worked its way out. Almost there. So I think tomorrow we will start on this scarf. Gonna get that out of the way. Well, that's basically it. That and the little branches underneath him. Oh yeah, thread's getting short. Three more. Arlene says, don't want to jinx you, but all these French knots have gone really smoothly. I know one of us got away from me, and then one I stopped really paying attention. And I got scared for a second, but yeah, they are going a-okay. If I jinx the last one, or if I have one bad one, then who cares? Hopefully I'll get this last one. Look at that pink poof, that's so cute. Oh, what would I make if not in a hoop? You can really do anything that you want like embroidery on. So I've made like a bunch of zipper pouches just because I use them. Like, let's see what I got near me. Oops. So I got like this guy. This is like a little quilted zipper pouch. I like making tote bags. You can put it on like cute little throw pillows. A lot of times I'll make it into like a larger block with other fabric, so it's like more of like a big quilt block. Put it with some other ones, do something quilty, or just like, you know, put it with other stuff and make a bigger tote bag or something. Usually things I need, you know, like bags. I'll make patches sometimes. Really anything you want to decorate with some fun stitching. Ooh, we've even done like greeting cards. Either like sewn a finished embroidery onto a greeting card, or we've stitched to a greeting card, but that you got to kind of plan out a little bit more and have it be kind of simple. But all right, here is where we're at right now. Oh, like tea towels and aprons, that sort of stuff too. There's our little fun feller with all his little French knots. They feel so fun. So this is great. We got this whole entire top area done. So tomorrow we can just focus on his scarf. And you know what? We got a little time tonight. I think I'm going to cut out all our little French knots down here. Our little sampley French knots. I'm just kind of clipping all the back. So we're actually going to put French knots back here, but they're going to be white. So we'll have white French knots with the green. Whew, there. But that guy's stuck because I have that other knot on the back. So it's from the front. Just trying to be careful not to cut a hole in my fabric. All right, nice and clean again. We'll be ready to stitch back on that. I've seen the lady that embroiders on black and white pictures and postcards. Oh, that is so fun. That's definitely a style that I've seen. So I don't know if I'm thinking of the same exact person as you, but we should try that where you can actually print photos and stuff onto fabric. Like you can trick your printer to print on fabric. Like that'd be fun to do that and like stitch on top. Ugh, that would be just so fun. But yeah, I've seen people do like black and white cards and then like add balloons and rainbows and all that. It's just so fun. It's just so flexible. It's such a flexible craft that I don't know. It's just fun. Big imaginations for what you can do. Like people got big imaginations and do neat stuff with it. All right, so here we are, you guys. We got his little head in there. It's looking awfully cute. So thank you guys again for hanging out with me here. I will let that live special go for another 15 minutes or so. And that's spend $20 in the shop, and I will send you a free mystery gift. And I appreciate you guys. So have a lovely rest of your evening, and I will see you on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Central Time again. Have a lovely evening. Good night.